So, what's the bigger flex? Is it snagging $100 million from one epic deal, or building an empire piece by piece, franchise by franchise? For over a decade, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson and William Leonard Roberts II, yeah, Rick Ross, haven't just been trading blows on tracks. They've been locked in a serious business war. Think fortunes as weapons and reputations on the line. This isn't just about chart toppers. We're talking boardrooms, brands, and billions in the making. We're going to break down their financial empires, their shrewdest moves, and just how bold these guys have been, all to answer one big question. In this ultimate business throwdown, who really comes out on top? Forget the diss tracks for a second. Picture this. One of these guys turned a drink endorsement into a reported 9-figure payday that basically rewrote the book on celebrity investments. The other, he patiently built a massive portfolio of well-known franchises, prime real estate, and luxury brands, creating what looks like an untouchable foundation of wealth. Yeah, their beef is loud, but their business moves, they're legendary. So, how did this whole business beef even start? Word is, the bad blood between 50 Cent and Rick Ross kicked off around 2008, supposedly with a cold stare at a BET event. Back then, 50 Cent was already huge in music and business. He was riding high from the insane success of Get Rich or Die Tryin', and that legendary vitamin water deal was about to drop an estimated $100 million in his lap. Seriously, he was the guy showing everyone how to turn rap fame into real business power, already having G-Unit records, clothing lines, and video games. He was the established giant. Meanwhile, Rick Ross was emerging as the boss, blowing up with hits like Hustlin' and Port of Miami. He was crafting this image of extreme luxury and starting to build his own Maybach Music Group, which was on its way to becoming a major label. You had Ross as the hungry challenger. His business empire was just getting started, but you couldn't deny his ambition. This initial friction wasn't just a personal spat, it was like a reigning king bumping heads with a determined successor, both wanting the same thing, to dominate, not just in music, but in business too. Their early business fights often played out in the media and their tracks, basically stress testing each other's brand power and market pull while they were still building their main hustles. As things heated up, 50 Cent's battles off the mic got way more strategic. It wasn't just about diss tracks anymore, it was about hitting Rick Ross's wallet and public image. 50 Cent, man, he's a master of mind games and knew how to use the media like a weapon. His most infamous move? Leaking a compromising tape involving the mother of one of Rick Ross's kids. Super personal, yeah, but it was also a calculated hit on Ross's carefully built boss persona, trying to shake his brand. 50 constantly used his platform to troll Ross hard, questioning his street cred, his past as a correctional officer, and even if his money was legit. But Rick Ross? He was surprisingly tough. Instead of breaking from 50 Cent's attacks, he usually just soaked up the hits and leaned even harder into his brand. He kept growing Maybach Music Group, signing artists like Meek Mill and Whale, which made MMG a serious moneymaker. Ross focused on building real, touchable assets and showing everyone he was still winning. He smartly invested in Wingstop franchises, a move that turned out to be incredibly profitable and stable. His game plan seemed to be just build bigger and shine brighter than all the hate, always flaunting his growing wealth with big buys and business growth. Ross's defense was to build an empire so solid that the hits just wouldn't stick. In a weird way, the feud actually boosted their spotlight. Every insult, every clapback kept them in the news. You could argue it made sure neither of them faded away. And in entertainment and business, staying relevant is pure gold. Curtis Jackson's business smarts are the stuff of legend, known for bold moves and smart diversification. The first huge piece of his fortune, that Glacio vitamin water deal. Back in 2004, he got a piece of the company, and when Coca-Cola bought Glacio in 2007, 50 reportedly walked away with somewhere between $60 million and $100 million. That wasn't just good luck. It completely changed the game for how artists partnered with brands, showing everyone that owning a piece was way better than just getting an endorsement check. But 50 didn't just cash out and chill. His G-Unit brand, which started as a record label and music crew, blew up into clothing, shoes, and video games, showing he knew early on how to stretch a brand. Lately, he's been all about the big money in TV and movies. He executive produced and starred in the massive hit series Power on Stars, which then led to a bunch of successful spin-offs like Power Book 2, Ghost, and BMF. That success helped him launch G-Unit Film and Television, and now he's even building a film and TV studio down in Shreveport, Louisiana. That's a huge long-term move in making content. And let's not forget the booze game. 50 Cent launched Sire Spirits with Branson Cognac and Le Chemin du Roi Champagne, pushing them hard as top-shelf brands. He's also written books and put money into different tech companies over the years. His investment style? He often goes for new tech and businesses that look like they're about to explode. Even though he had a strategic bankruptcy back in 2015, which he handled like a pro, 50 Cent has consistently shown he can rake in serious cash and build powerful platforms. All right, now Rick Ross, the biggest boss. He's built his empire with a totally different but just as smart game plan. Go wide with lots of different things and focus on stuff you can actually touch that brings in money. Maybach Music Group, MMG, was a solid start, right? It launched guys like Meek Mill and Whale and kept the music money flowing. But Ross didn't just stick to music. One of his most famous business moves is his huge collection of Wingstop franchises. The man reportedly owns over 25 of them. These spots bring in a steady, reliable income, even when the economy's shaky. It's a smart, not very flashy, but super effective way to build wealth. He even gave his son a Wingstop franchise. Talk about setting him up. On top of Wingstop, he's also into Checkers and Rally's franchises, locking down his spot in the fast food game. Ross has also made some big moves in the alcohol business, especially with his partnership and shoutouts for Luc Belaire Rosé. That drink is basically part of his luxury image now. And his real estate? It's wild. His most famous spot is the Promised Land, that giant 109-room mansion in Georgia that used to be Evander Holyfield's, sitting on hundreds of acres. He's not just buying houses to live in, he uses them for events, even rents them out for movies, turning his lifestyle into another business. Plus, he's got a private jet and a car collection that'll make your jaw drop, all part of that Rich Forever brand. More recently, Ross has jumped into the weed business with partnerships like Cookies and Hempaco, getting into another booming market. His book, The Perfect Day to Boss Up, even hit the New York Times bestseller list, so you can add author to his resume. Ross's whole strategy is about building a big, diverse portfolio that has money coming in from all over, with a lot of it tied to actual physical stuff and proven franchise businesses. So, where does 50 Cent stand with his money after all these years? As of early 2025, some say 50 Cent's net worth is around $45 to $60 million, keeping in mind his past bankruptcy and how he bounced back. Plus, his career earnings are way higher, and big successes like his Final Lap tour pulled in a lot of cash. Other sources put him closer to $150 million. While he's got money in drinks and other businesses, a massive chunk of his current and future earning power is tied up in media. His G-Unit Film and Television company and that new studio in Louisiana set him up for potentially huge long-term growth in the always growing world of content. Hit TV shows and movies can make money for decades from reruns, streaming deals, and selling overseas. His yearly earnings from all his different ventures are also estimated to be in the $10 to $20 million ballpark. And yeah, the feud is still a thing, with recent online jabs in early 2025, including 50 making fun of Ross about the Millennium Tour, showing the beef keeps him in the spotlight. And what about Rick Ross's financial muscle? His net worth is pretty consistently pegged around $150 million. The significant aspect of Ross's wealth is how it's built and its potential trajectory. Rick Ross has a ton of his money in solid, touchable things. Real estate, those restaurant franchises, luxury toys. These things usually bring in steady, sometimes passive income, and are generally worth more over time. Some folks estimate he's pulling in around $30 million a year. His involvement in the ongoing feud was also seen in early 2025, firing back about 50's film studio money and offering to buy his music, demonstrating that this rivalry continues to keep both artists relevant. So when we talk about who really wins, what's 50 Cent's strongest claim? If winning means who pulled off the single most game-changing early deal, then 50 Cent's vitamin water cash out is legendary. It set a new standard. That was pure genius, and all about getting that ownership. His later jump into TV and film production shows he's got a real talent for spotting and taking over fast-growing industries. He's the guy who shakes things up, the one who goes for the big, transformative wins. Now, if winning is about building a diverse, tough-to-beat empire full of actual assets and steady cash flow, then Rick Ross is a serious player. His franchise system, all that real estate, and smart brand deals show a super careful approach to getting rich. He's the patient builder, the boss of steady, long-term growth. Ross has even hinted he'd be down to do business with 50, which shows there's a practical mind under all that public beef. But hey, that's just what we think. What about you? Who do you think is the bigger business boss here? 50 Cent or Rick Ross? Whose empire would you rather own? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you liked this look into the business side of hip-hop and want more stuff like it, definitely hit that like button, subscribe for more business showdowns and money breakdowns, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. From the streets to the suites, 50 Cent and Rick Ross have written two of the most fascinating stories in modern business. This decade-plus showdown, driven by diss tracks and smart business plays, wasn't just for show. It's been a top-tier lesson in how to build wealth and a killer brand. Their styles are different, sure. 50 with his big, game-changing moves versus Ross with his spread-out, always-growing empire. But the end result? Pretty much the same. Two guys who made it from the ground up and completely changed what success looks like in entertainment and way beyond. The fight for who's the top business dog might never truly end, because for these two, the hustle just doesn't quit. Thanks for watching.